Early in the morning, early in the morning, early in the morning.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, you little monster? Everyone likes you, you know. You're popular. Anyway, guys, what's going on? The people that miss your boy Cam, Topical Juice, and it's Friday night. I've done a 12-hour shift. I've got a 12-hour shift tomorrow. I've got another one Sunday. It is what it is, man. This is the grind. It is what it is. Let's get straight into this video because I've got to get early night-ish. Well, I say early. It's going to be in the early AM. Anyway, like the video for me, hit the bell to be notified for me. Please press that subscribe button for me. Your subscription means the world. It's a road to 50K. Thank you to my new subscribers. Please join the journey. I love y'all. I appreciate you. I'm trying to achieve my goals and I need you to do that for me. So thank you, guys. Let's get straight into this video. Now, guys, I missed the first 7 or 8 minutes of this episode. I'm not going to lie to you. And when I got home, I'm not going to watch it back. I'm too tired. I've got so much to do. There's a lot going on. So I'm going to jump straight into the first thing I saw. The first thing I saw was Katie and Ty doing up flirting. Now, guys, before I get into this here, I'm so sorry. I am so proud of Tyreek. I am so proud of Ella. I am so proud of both of them, guys. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm proud of them. I said to you in yesterday's episode, yeah, I didn't want Tyreek's ego to get in the way of his blessings. And he came to his senses today. Everything I didn't want to happen was about to happen, and then he U-turned it, and this is the happy ending that I wanted. Ty and Ella must win this show. If it ain't, it has to be Ty and Ella. Because I want Whitney to win, but if I'm honest, guys, I don't care for Lockham. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a nice guy, he's sweet, but he's just giving me Medi vibes. And I don't mean because he's not foreign. I mean, they kind of look the same. Like Fred said, he could easily be Medi's uncle, bro. But I'm just not getting, listen, as long as Whitney's happy, I'm happy. It's just I'm not really getting that spark. But it is what it is. I'm happy for her, but I don't care for Lockham, or whatever his name is. So I like Ella a lot, and I like Tyreek a lot. So I want them to win. So I will be voting for them to win when the push comes to shove. Obviously, movie night is Sunday, so we'll get into that. But anyway, Tyreek is clearly flirting with Katie. He's like, he's saying, let me look in your eyes. You're beautiful. You've got gorgeous eyes, you know. He's obviously doing what he's doing. He's flirting. He's stroking her hair, bro. When he didn't even stroke Ella's hair when they were together. Like we know what you're doing here, Ty. We know what you're doing. Now you brought it back so well later in the episode, so I'm not going to grill you today. I'm going to give you a heavy brownie points for opening up to the man them, opening up to Ella, and saying how you really feel and explaining your actions over the last 48 hours. Yeah, you were hurt, and I understand that. So at the start, obviously, he's flirting with Katie. It's clearly obvious that he's flirting with her just to get Ella back. And that's exactly what I said I didn't want him to do. The tit-for-tat BS. I don't want you to do all that immature tit-for-tat BS. And he even said it. He even said, I don't want to do this tit-for-tat. She said, I don't want to do this tit-for-tat. So like, get me, man knows, yeah? Trust Topical Juice. TJ knows these things, yeah? Anyway, Ella confronts Tyreek and Katie. Bow. Yeah, I love what Ella did. She came on smoke. She goes, is this a thing, no? And Tyreek's like, oh, don't do that. Don't come up here on that energy. Don't do that, yeah? And she's like, you're letting him use you. Ella says, what are you doing? You're letting him use you. Are you a pawn or something? Are you on a chessboard or something? What is this? Get off the chessboard and know your position. Ella said, you're a pawn. You're letting him pawn you. And Katie, yeah, who's meant to be on Big Smoke, no Skepta, was like, no, I know this. Ask the girls. I'm telling him. I thought Katie was going to be a bit more smoky than that, but she hasn't really got much left to stand by. She's basically just saying, listen, it's what it is. I was flirting with him. He's flirting with me, but it's not that thing. It is what it is, isn't it? Like, I know he's playing a game and I'm not going to be a pawn. So she just basically melted to Ella. But I like the fact Ella just called her out. I like that about Ella. I like that a lot. Anyway, and Ty basically says, listen, this is your fault. Whatever happens and whatever is happening right now is your fault. And at this point, I was like, Ty, don't do it. Don't do it, because you can control your actions from this point, yeah? Just because your feelings are hurt and your pride and ego's hurt, yeah? Which is Ella's fault completely. She shouldn't have brought Uzi back, yeah? But what you do going forward is up to you. You understand? He basically says, this is what's happening now. This is what's happening. Yeah? You did your thing. This is happening now. And I was thinking, Ty, you are brutal, man. I gotta love you for it though. And they end up speaking, Ella and Ty, and he says, listen, I'm single because of you. Because of you. You did this. You. And I was thinking, again, Ella's wrong, but you have to understand where she's coming from. So but I was getting worried. I was thinking, Ty, don't do it. Oh, don't do it. Yeah, oh my God. Anyway, and they end up talking, yeah, and she's like, stop being petty, like all this stuff is tit for tat, and I agree. But then this is where Tyreek's funny, because she's like, cool. She puts a glass on. She says, what do you want then? Because if this is what you're on, there's no point in me actually fighting for this. Because if you're done, you're done. Say what it is. And this guy, yeah, goes, I want you. He goes, listen, I want you, but this is the only way I know how to go about it. Like you hurt me, like I want you, but this is the only way I know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking, God damn it. I'm so glad, yeah. I really do believe that Tyreek's gonna have a learning curve here. He is gonna learn something from this experience. I do think so. Well, you know, I do think he's probably gonna go back to his F-boy days eventually when he leaves the villa, but at least he's unlocked a new level, you understand? Sammy and Amber speak here, and I'm serious, yeah. I really dislike Sammy. He just pisses me off. The guy has no backbone, or like I said in yesterday's video, he wants his cake and eat it too. And Jess said the same thing. Ella said the same thing. Ella, I told you yesterday, Ella's advice could either be shit or amazing. Yesterday's advice to Catherine was dead. Today's advice to Jess was absolutely spot on. Ella was pinpoint perfect, yeah, in today's episode, right? When it comes to advice. I just don't trust Sammy, man. I think Sammy just literally wants to have it all. He wants to be able to have all the girls he wants. How can he not understand where Jess is coming from? Jess has had to literally sit through 3 triangles so he can just get to explore and get to know. I hate this phrase, get to know. Now it's not, Sammy ain't the only one that says that. Tyreek says it as well. A lot of the people say it. They like, what do you mean you're gonna get to know Amber while you get to know Jess? What, you know Jess. This ain't a get to know situation. You know Jess now. It's not a get to know. You now have to choose Jess or you don't. Ella advises Jess. She says, listen, you need to grow a pair of metaphorical titties, like I said in yesterday's video, and you tell him what's what. And I'm so glad she did. You know, Jess is getting mad about how he likes petite, brown haired girls and blah. She's like, listen, Ella says, listen, ice him out. Tell him what's what and give him the cold shoulder. He must squirm. And I'll be honest with you, she's right. I'm a man. I can tell you that that's how we work. As soon as we think there's a possibility that we might lose someone, or you know, the toxicity in us, in our fragile male egos, yeah, won't let it happen. Men like to own things. We like to possess things. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying all men, but that's just like a common thing. Like we don't, even if it's a situationship and we're not going to wife someone, we don't want to know that another man's with her or she's moving on to the next man. We want to, you know what I'm saying? We like to get me. That's just part of being a man. Kobe, jump. Good boy. What am I saying? Then Tyreek. This is where Tyreek gets so many brownie points from me, guys. He gets so many brownie points from me, guys. He basically admits to the boys that he's given Ella doubts. And this was music to my ears, bro. This is him being calm, taking accountability. He said, like, the way he's acted, he said the way she's acted since coming back into the villa proves that she cares, proves that she's been respectful. She slept on the day bed, she's barely talking to Uzi, and Tyreek recognizes that, because Ty ain't dumb, you understand? He is emotionally intelligent, and he is intelligent. So he knows, like, what she's doing to fight. And he also knows the reason why she brought Uzi back in the first place, and I'm so glad he understands that. Ty, you really are the guy, and I'm happy that you came to your senses, because I didn't want to have to jump. Kobe, what are you doing down there? I didn't want to have to jump on his neck. Anyway, Ella and Katie speak and they basically squash it. There ain't really much to report on that one there. Oh, you got your wooden boy. You got your little wood. Pause. Ella and Tyreek then speak and they squash it. And guys, I'm so proud of them, man. You know, Tyreek's talking to the boys and the boys say, listen, lad, go get your girl back. Yeah, go get your girl back, secure that, and tell her how much you feel. And Tyreek's like, yo, I'm gonna tell her how I feel. So he talks to Ella, they have a conversation, and she says to him, listen, like, I just wanna, like, forget your ego, let's just communicate, let's talk. I believe we can have something special. I believe we can really achieve something here, like in a relationship type thing. I was scared that his ego wouldn't like Ella acknowledging his ego. I was just getting, I thought he wasn't gonna like that, but in the end he did, he was receptive, and he said, listen, everyone in here knows how I feel about you. It's time you know how I feel about you. And I was thinking, Ty, this is all we wanted to hear, bro. This is all we wanted to see from you. You understand? And as I said, they've got my vote, man. They really have got my vote. I respect both of them. I like both of them, and I'm glad that they've solved it. He says that he doesn't want to lose you, and he's grown, and they both recognize how much he's grown. He has grown. Now, how much can a person really grow in 5 weeks? I don't know. But at the end of the day, yeah. In fact, I'm going to take that back. When I went to Thailand in 2015, I had a holiday romance, and it was with this Dutch girl. And I was completely, like, again, I don't know what feelings feels like, you understand, or they're very rare for me. So it's like a holiday romance. And I was in Thailand for 4 weeks, yeah, or just under 5 weeks actually, just under 5 weeks. And that was a massive eye-opener for me. So I take that back, Ty, you're right. You can change in 4 or 5 weeks, because I did, you understand? So when I tell you I was Ty, you need to understand, like, I actually was him, ruthless. He's my protege, if I'm being real, yeah? If you don't think he was busy, in fact, let me not talk too much. I ain't that guy no more, but he's my protege for real. But what am I saying? So I changed a lot, because a week after I came back from Thailand, I met my ex. And because I was still on the high of, oh right, I can feel. I've got emotion, I'm not completely numb, yeah? A week later, I meet my ex. How crazy is that? So I'm just worried that Ella's kind of fixed him for next gap, but who knows, we'll see. So you can actually change in 5 weeks, so we'll see. But hopefully he's like me in that sense where he's actually changed, and we'll see, man, we'll see. But he never knew he had these feelings and blah, blah, blah. Now guys, Scott and Catherine have a conversation, yeah? And Scott, your heart is really in the right place. I respect you for this. I just wish you didn't do it. Scott was the one almost begging Catherine. Scott was the one who swallowed his pride, swallowed his ego and said, you know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said what I said around the fireplace. That came from a place of hurt, right? I am so sad that he did this. He's talking to Catherine, talking about how he regrets cutting it off, how he misses her. And she says, I think the damage is done. What? As in, yeah, the damage is done. From you. You understand that, right? You are the damage. I couldn't believe what I was hearing here. Scott really came back like with his hat in his hands on some, please sir, can I have some more? Like, what are you begging her for? I'm proud of him for really taking this higher approach. His PR's gone through the roof. I respect you, Scott. But I just wish he didn't do it, if I'm being honest. Because she literally said, like, once I say it's done, it's done. She's like, I don't regret anything and thanks for telling me. And I'm just like, wow. And he's like, I don't really know what I'm saying here, and she's like, yeah, cool, it's done anyway. So they hug it out. And I'm thinking, what was the point in that? Like, Scott, what did you do there? What did you achieve there? I don't know, man. Like, even Scott and Amber had an awkward interaction, like later in the episode as well, when they're just standing there in the kitchen or sitting there in the kitchen talking to each other about what group they're gonna join. Their conversation was that boring, that dry, that they were like, oh yeah, what group? Maybe we can join that group. And she's basically like, yeah, cool. So I'm just gonna join Ella's group, innit? And then they get a text, I think, about the hideaway. But I was just thinking, what? Scott's going out sad. He might as well stick it on Katie, if I'm honest. I think Scott might as well stick it on Katie, if I'm being honest. But she's already had a Scott. Eesh. Does she want another Scott? Boy, I don't think she wants another Scott. Anyway, yeah. Catherine was just, I don't know how she Jedi mind tricked him into apologizing to her. Whatever. Jess and Sammy speak and she goes off on him. And like, Jess, I'm so proud of the titties you've grown this episode, yeah? Because she was literally saying, like, it's not fair. It's literally not fair. Once again, I'm in a triangle. You don't understand how I feel. You do not understand how I feel. I want 100%. I want someone who wants me. Look at what Ella did. Ella came back with Uzi, realized it was wrong, locked it off, yeah? Take notes. What's wrong with you, fam? Literally, so she's like, she ain't having it. She starts to get upset a little bit, rah, rah, rah. And Sammy's like, what? Don't you think I've been real? I've been 100% real with y'all. I've been 100% real with y'all. And I'm like, bro, it's great that you're telling Jess that you're open to speaking with whatever. And it's great that you're telling Amber this, but bro, you're not understanding it. What more do you need to, you literally know, Jess. You know, Jess, we're done waiting. I'm complete. In fact, Sammy, fuck off, innit? You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, bounce out the villa. Because I'm sick of seeing this guy, man. I'm sick of seeing his damn teeth. Sammy then reports back to Ty, and again, Ty's on form, man. He's like, yo, listen, if you just have the conversation with Amber, it's smooth sailing from here with Jess. It's smooth here with Jess. Like, let it go. What are you really doing here with Amber? And basically, because Tyreek's the boss, because Tyreek's his daddy, yeah, Pappy Tyreek, he goes, yes, sir. How high should I jump, sir? Thanks, cuzzy. And he walks off and he dumps off Amber. So he then dumps off Amber. She takes it on the chin and he's like, should we have a hug? And she's like, sure. Hugs him. And then she's like, does a little, you know how girls are when they're angry, they kind of, that little face they do. KD and Uzi start speaking, yeah, and he's just trying to flirt. And they're talking about kids. And I'll be honest, I actually thought KD had kids, you know. I actually thought she had kids still. I thought she had a kid. I didn't think she had a child, but I was clearly wrong. She ain't got no kids. But they're talking about kids. They get on. And honestly, I just couldn't stop looking at his hair. Now, Uzi, he came out of his shell a bit more today. Showed me a bit more personality. Still dry, but whatever. I don't dislike him, but whatever it is what it is. I really hate his trim. His trim is awful. I just want someone to go, whoop, Like, let's see what you're working with. What are you hiding under there? Are you going bald or something? How has a man got like bobby pins or whatever they're called, hairpins in his hair going forward for a full fringe? Like, whatever. Sammy and Jess speak again, and he tells Jess that it's all her. She's happy, but obviously, yeah, they're not jumping for joy at this point. It's a bit of a lukewarm reception. Whatever, move past that. Just get Sammy off my screen, bro. Then you've got Scott and Amber speaking, and oh yeah, I've already mentioned that, they're just loners. And ultimately, yeah, Zach and Molly get the hideaway, and that's really it, guys. I mean, the episode was good. The episode really was good. Well, it was okay. It was a decent episode. But I feel like I've not really spoken for that long. But either way, guys, they get the hideaway. I don't know what they did under the covers. All I know, Zach, you know what? My donut of the day today, I'm not even too sure, man. It could easily be Scott for begging Catherine when he didn't need to, even I give you respect. Could be Zach for saying, hey, Molly broski, I know this is a competition, but I feel like I've already won. You get it? Like, broski, I've already won. Like, forget the 50 backs. I've already won with you, Molly. I like older women, but even though you're like 4 years younger than me, and I like older women, get me? Anyway, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you lot at the next video. Bow.